Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another Feeding Frenzy for A Course in Weight Loss, and we are on lesson number 4.
Invoking the real you.
Are you reading?
For a minute.
Okay.
What does it mean to invoke the real you?
That is so wrong. I asked you that question a minute ago, and you stole
Okay,
the
you want
book.
me to answer it? I think it means to find that thin me inside and bring her out.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm afraid to be skinny, then I don't need to lose this weight.
Right.
So I've got to get rid of that fear first. I have to get rid of the fear of being the real me before I can get rid of the weight.
You can't take off the coat until you're comfortable taking off the coat.
Right. Right.
You know?
So I've got to get okay with the thin Cindy before I can make any of this work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Do you?
So this exercise is another letter, another couple of letters, and I see writing that another letter, helping me gauge whether or not I'm comfortable letting go of that coat. You know,
good point.
Taking off this armor. Am I comfortable taking off this armor? And if I'm not comfortable taking off the armor, then I am wasting my efforts. If I haven't addressed those issues, I am not going to be comfortable letting go of what I put on for protection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So before I can address my weight, I have to address the reason why it was put there.
Right.
And for me, it was a buffer between me and what was going on.
Right. So we have to get to the root of
So-
our reason for putting it on. And I think that was one thing that the other letters helped me to do, was just figure out why I needed a not so thin me to show up on the outside.
Sure. Yeah.
And hopefully that letter and the other exercises have helped us to get rid of.
I truly believe that the true me, the spiritual me, the one that doesn't require a body, is untouchable by anything in this world.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know.
Whether we build a protection around it or not.
Right.
And you know, for when I think about that we put on this weight to protect ourselves. The funny thing is that we never needed protection to begin with, because God's already got this. He's already protecting us. And so we're just building walls that are useless. We're spending a lot of time for no good reason. As an overweight person, you have given birth to the body of your suffering. It's time now to give birth to the body of your joy.
I really like that. I like the idea and the thought of giving birth to my joy. Oh, that's just fabulous.
So could you see yourself becoming a new body? You know, these bodies are rebuilt in just a couple of, months or whatever. Can you see that now your new body that's coming forth is the one from the joy instead of the suffering and the pain?
Yeah. That's the one I'm building. That's the one I'm consciously building. So when I run across something that's giving me a problem food-wise, then I think, is that part of my joy? Is that part of my new joy? And if it's not part of my new joy, I'm not going to partake of it.
Right.
And it's an act of self-love and not a denial. It's not depravity.
Right.
It's an act of self-love. To ask myself, is this part of my new joy?
Well, and I also think that if you want chocolate, you can have chocolate.
Sure.
It's just not a whole boatload of it. You know, we have to do it in moderation. And there's nothing wrong with eating chocolate.
No.
It's just how much we eat and at one sitting, you know. So I like to think of that as a body of my joy.
Oh, I do
The
too. I
new
think
life,
that's
being
fabulous.
a new me. Yeah.
You know, and part of this exercise also is having us look at a new image of ourselves. And I think I'm going to put that little saying underneath it.
Oh, yeah. This is the body of my joy.
The body that's being birthed through my joy, yeah. Because I have never consciously eaten in a time when I'm down and called forth a better emotion, a good from it. Do you know what I'm saying? I have being used to being an emotional eater. I have at times covered up the pain by doing that, but it's never brought me pleasure.
Right.
It brought more pain. No, it didn't. It didn't even bring comfort.
That's true.
It really halted it, but that was it. It didn't
Right.
bring comfort.
Well, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Today when we were working out, Emily smashed her finger on one of the machines, and David
I didn't
said,
even know that.
David said, "Oh, are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I'll be okay." And he said, "Well, I could always hit your toe, so you'd forget about the finger, you know." And I thought, you know, when we're eating, we're not really taking the pain away. We're just getting pain in a different spot. to take away
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a good way to think about it. So the
So
next
we
time
still
I
have the
see you
pain.
eating too much, I can say, "You want me to step on your toe?" That's a good way to think about it, though.
How did you like the process of putting your face on another picture?
That was actually pretty
Another
cool.
body.
That was really
Was
cool. Yeah, it was. The hardest thing was to actually find what I wanted, what I could truly identify with. And I thought, a couple of pictures I looked at, I thought, no, I really don't. No, I can't do that. And but it'd sit there in the back of my mind thinking, well, why couldn't you? Why couldn't you do that? Why can't you look like that? Is that what you want? You know? So it's, I was looking online, so I'd open a new tab and leave that one sitting for a little while. Almost like you're shopping for a new pair of shoes. I don't know, I'll come back and see that one in a minute. So I did that with the pictures. That was funny. It was like almost like shopping for dresses, you know, or a new outfit or something. I'll put that aside, you know. I'll come back and look at that one in a little while. So I look at 2 or 3 others, and then I go back to that first one. No, there is no reason I can't look like that. This
Good for
is
you.
what I want. So I narrowed it down to 2 different body types. They were really similar, but 2 different body types, and I thought, no, this is what I really want. And so it was probably harder for me to figure out, this is what I really want, than accepting I can do that.
Right. Well, good. You know, good for you.
What about you?
For me, it was when I first pulled up models and stuff on the online to try to find a picture of a, you know, bathing suit woman or something. You know, something that I could put my head on. It was like, oh, come on. You know, I can't put my head on a 20-year-old body. That's just not going to look right for one thing. And I don't want to look like that.
Yeah.
I'm past that. I don't want to do that. So I started looking for older bodies, and then it hit me. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis. She's got the body I wouldn't mind having. So I did find some pictures of her in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit older than I am, and so it works for me. I mean, I couldn't wrap my head around a 20-year-old body, you know, and that's about all you find. It's hard to find older bodies online, you know, or anywhere else for that matter. People, they don't.
Well, by the time you get your
appreciate.
this age, nobody wants to take their clothes down or seen in a bathing suit. you know?
Right, and it didn't have to be in a bathing suit. I wasn't specifically looking for bathing suits, but it's about all you can find online that doesn't cover you up so much you can't
appreciate what the body actually looks like.
in the size. So I did find one of her in a dress though, and I liked it. So that's what I used. So it was fun because it made me appreciate my body at this age.
That's cool.
That way.
That's cool.
To say, you know, just because I am getting older doesn't mean I have to hate my body.
Good for you.
You know, that it won't look like a 20-year-old, but I don't want it to. That would look really weird, you know. I need to just appreciate who I am and where I'm at.
Okay, now, I'm going to put you on the spot.
What?
A while back, you and I addressed body issues.
Yes, we did. We did.
We had someone come in and actually do body painting.
Yep.
Now tell me, what was that experience like for you?
It was interesting. It was interesting for somebody to take the time to paint my body from head to toe, practically. So it was a little unnerving. It was a little strange, but it really worked. By the time she was done, I was beautiful from head to toe, weight and all, and I felt good about me. And I somehow, I don't know how, but somehow my body issues were gone. You know, Now,
was-
I wouldn't go streaking or anything,
No.
but I mean, I did. Excuse me, I just didn't have those issues anymore.
I too got such a great. I had such a new appreciation for myself, and seeing myself as a work of art, rather than something that I just don't even want to look at. You know what I'm saying? It brought forth me being able to see myself as beautiful in the skin I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just amazing for me, the transformation after that. So the transformation after that, it was no big deal. No longer did I worry about the clothes that I was putting on my body. And I was definitely more comfortable in my skin after that experience. Now, like you said, it was difficult to do because, like you said, she painted me from head to toe, pretty much, and so it was an experience. But man, I'd go back and do it all over again.
Yeah.
I would definitely go. I'd do it again.
Was fun. For the first time, I thought, oh man, I would love to just go show my body off, and I've never felt like that before. And probably never will again. But it was it truly, by the time she got done, I had had plenty of time to sit there and think about, why am I worried about this, She didn't care what I look like. She could have cared less. The more weight I have, the bigger canvas she has, if she's happy. It just didn't.
Well, and what made it for me was the pictures afterwards.
Yeah.
Too. Because it's one thing being in the skin and seeing it in the mirror, and then there's another thing actually seeing, because she's a fantastic artist anyway, and the pictures she took were amazing. So it was cool to see the pictures too, because I could see the beauty she saw.
Right.
So that gave me a new picture from someone else's eye. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, to see her use my body to be creative.
Yes.
Because I could see through her eyes what she saw when she looked at me, and it was just really a cool experience. I'll put it up there. Okay, another question though is, what about your letter to your thin self? How did that go?
That one was better. The other letter was hard, really hard, but there was a lot of anger and hurt and resentment and that kind of thing in the other letter. This one wasn't as bad. This one was a little bit more playful, just in a, hey, where are you? Where you been? Excited, I wanted to see you, But I think that was all the work that I've done up till now. What about you? How was your letter?
It was much easier, and it was more playful and more fun. It was like, hey, where you been all my life? When are you going to come back out to play? And, I've let you come out for a little while, and then I stuff you back in there again, and I'm ready for you to come out now. And, I felt like she was saying back to me, well, I've just been waiting for you, to get your act together. So it was good. It was more of a, okay, I'm done with this now. I see how silly I've been. So come on out, let's go play big. I stuffed you in, and I think for me, I stuffed her in because I was afraid to play big. And I thought that as long as I'm overweight, I can't be that successful. And it seems like, in my experience, every time I've tried to be successful, somebody's gotten hurt. And they yanked me back down to where they are. So I'm done with that.
Absolutely. I really feel this is really different for me. This is different than any other thing that I've attempted before as far as weight is concerned, because the focus isn't on the weight. It's a totally different thing, and I really feel some serious changes coming on.
Right. Well, I think for me, this is the first time I've actually put the physical and the mental and the spiritual all together at the same time.
There you go. Yes.
And that's exactly what we're doing this time.
Yes.
And it's working.
Yes.
I mean, I have eaten less in the last 3-4 days than I ever thought possible, and still be satisfied.
And still satisfied, yes.
I have not been hungry, excuse me, and I haven't eaten nearly as much as I usually do. So here's our prayer.
Okay.
Dear God, please deliver me to my own true self. Please make of my body a perfect container for who you created me to be. And teach me how to live within it in happiness and peace.
And
Amen.
so it is. Amen. Shree.
Sure.